The Jeffrey Epstein files named some of the world's most powerful billionaires. Here's how they made their money and how close they were to Epstein. Bill Gates is worth $124 billion, making him one of the richest people alive. He co-founded Microsoft and later launched the world's biggest philanthropy, the Gates Foundation. Gates and Epstein had several meals together, and the files show Epstein was friendly with multiple people in Gates' network. There were discussions of scheduled meetings between the two on these dates. It isn't clear if all of these meetings actually took place. Gates is pictured here attending events with Epstein. A Gates spokesperson told Business Insider, "These claims are absolutely absurd and completely false. Every minute I spent with him, I regret, and I apologize that I did that." Les Wexner, worth $8.8 billion, founded Bath & Body Works. His company also acquired Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch. He seeded Epstein's vast wealth. Wexner hired him as his money manager, granting Epstein power of attorney over his finances. For 16 years, Wexner previously owned Epstein's notorious New York City mansion. In the Upper East Side, public records indicate Wexner transferred the house, worth $77 million, to Epstein for $0. Wexner cut ties with Epstein and says he discovered Epstein stole $46 million from him. In a letter to the Wexner Foundation, Les said, "I'm embarrassed that, like so many others, I was deceived by Mr. Epstein." Leon Black, worth $13.3 billion, founded Apollo Global Management. Black paid Epstein $158 million for financial advice. Through the years following Epstein's 2008 conviction for procuring a minor for prostitution, Epstein wasn't a lawyer or a certified accountant. Black later called the relationship a horrible mistake. Forbes estimates Donald Trump is worth $6.2 billion due to his cryptocurrency ventures, his social media platform True Social, and royalties on branded products right next to him. Most of the emails in the latest release of the files are unverified tips the public sent to the FBI about Trump's relationship to Epstein, but from previous releases, we can track their relationship back to the 90s. And early flight logs show that Trump flew on Epstein's plane multiple times, and photos show Epstein attending events at Mar-a-Lago in 1992 and 2000. Trump has said that the relationship with Epstein soured years ago. He says he had no knowledge of Epstein's sex crimes. When the New York Times asked the White House for comment, they referred to this statement from the Department of Justice that the files may include fake or falsely submitted images, documents, or videos. Richard Branson, worth $2.8 billion, founded the Virgin Group, with major brands like Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Galactic, the space tourism company. His name appears hundreds of times in the files. In one email, he joked about Epstein bringing a harem, but Virgin later said that referred to Epstein's adult staff, and photos show Epstein visiting Branson's private island in the Caribbean. A spokesperson said that if Branson had known the full facts, he would never have become involved with Epstein. Sergey Brin, worth over $255 billion, founded Google. He communicated with Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate, starting in 2003. The files include reports from people saying he visited Epstein's island multiple times, and these photos show him at a dinner for billionaires, put on by the Epstein-funded Edge Foundation. Jeffrey also attended these dinners. Brin has not publicly commented on the documents. Steve Tiss, worth $1.6 billion, is a film producer and co-owner of the New York Giants. Emails show Epstein introducing Tish to women and exchanging explicit commentary. In a comment, Tish said, "We had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women, and in addition we discussed movies, philanthropy, and investments." Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, is worth a whopping $825 billion, making him the richest man on Earth as of early 2026. In the latest release of files, he's seen emailing Jeffrey Epstein in 2013, and also in 2012 asking, "What day/night will be the wildest party on your island?" It doesn't look like Musk ended up visiting the island. This is his comment on Axwell, aware that some email correspondence with him could be misinterpreted and used by detractors to smear my name. Mortimer Zuckerberg is the co-founder of one of the largest real estate investment trusts in the U.S. and the owner of U.S. News and World Report. He's estimated to be worth $2.8 billion. Emails included in the file show that Epstein was in talks to work for Zuckerman as a financial planner, though. It isn't clear if they actually reached an agreement. Zuckerman has not publicly commented. Arianda Rothschild, worth about $1.4 billion, runs a major Swiss private bank, and is part of the Rothschild family, an international banking dynasty. She emailed back and forth with Epstein for years, setting up calls and in-person meetings. Epstein offered financial advice to her firm, but it's unclear from the files if they actually reached a formal agreement. Rothschild spokesperson said, "She unequivocally condemns Epstein's crimes." Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Commerce Department secretary, under the Trump administration, is worth $3.3 billion. He also exchanged emails with Epstein, although Lutnick says he cut ties with Jeffrey in 2005. After his first visit to Epstein's house, he invited Epstein to a Hillary Clinton fundraiser. In 2015, the emails show, "We had lunch on the island. That is true for an hour. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies." A Commerce Department spokesperson said, Secretary Lutnick had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoing. Peter Thiel is currently worth $26.3 billion, and he co-founded PayPal email show. Epstein inviting Thiel to his private island in 2018, though Thiel's spokesperson says he never went. Thiel later publicly criticized Epstein on Joe Rogan's podcast. Combined, these people are worth $127 trillion. That's the scale of power now tied to the Epstein files.